the meaning something which should be discussed, because I think that we have different understandings about that, and then that will have big consequence what kind support and tutoring and mentoring student teachers can have. And if we and partners can find some joint vision what kind of competencies are needed in teaching profession, that helps then also to set those pedagogical aims what we have both in schools for pupils but also for student teachers. Then I think that also the concept of knowledge is something which should be also discussed in that third space you mentioned, because if teachers are seen only consumers of knowledge, so that they are transmitting something, it's totally different pedagogical idea than teachers are more reflective practitioners, where they are trying to find out all the time in which way they could do something in a better way. And that's why I think that this concept of knowledge is also one area or a topic that should be discussed in dialogue. I would then add also one additional element, which is concept of research, which you mentioned also that university schools can be platforms for also projects where development and research will be implemented. And I think that everybody has a little different understanding what is research and in which way that can be linked with our projects, action research projects or other kind of developmental projects, or is research very academic, aiming at journal articles or some kind of more, I think that formal published research. Resources can be different in schools and universities and amongst those people who are in this EdUSchool system, but we also can find quite nice examples how those teachers who are in university schools and then those faculty teachers can jointly promote some developmental projects. And that kind of understanding that we can create something based on evidence is very important. And in Finland, fortunately, 2016, we established so-called Teacher Education Forum. And this forum is jointly with teacher educators in universities, in teacher training schools, but also local schools, huge amount of local schools. And these all different actors tried to get multi-partners projects developing teacher education and teacher, I think also teacher programs for school level, also in-service training, for example. But that is then a little other story. But then what would be then opportunities to create living ecosystem? And what I could find based on my experiences that how we could get that dialogue and trust better and better. I think that these elements what coming from this ecosystem, interaction, information flow, and diversity can be basic principles, but how to turn them in actual implementations. What we have seen is very important is that all teacher educators who involve in university faculty level coming there from there, or in those teacher training schools or affiliated schools. All these need training to be a mentor or be a supervisor who use mentoring methods, which means that you have the language of mentoring, you understand professional development, you support, and that kind of joint vision, how we can support all together student teachers development. That has been very important, especially for those affiliated school teachers, but also teacher training school teachers. And part of that, what is reflection? So I think that the issue of reflection, that teachers develop their profession through continuous reflection, what they could do in a better way. And that kind of sound of reflection should be integrated in the collaboration that people are jointly seeking for new ways to make this ecosystem better. Then I think that one issue that should be also discussed is leadership in that ecosystem, because there are different roles, different kind of status, or also who is principal in the school, who is the dean or head of department in faculty, and what are these different kind of administrative responsibilities, and in which way some processes will be led. So that what we could see in the beginning, that there was quite much tension in that area, that what is, for example, schools' responsibility for student teachers, and what is faculty's responsibilities for student teachers, and in which way we share that. And then also I think that you spoke about organizational level, so that was excellent that you also mentioned that, and how to get that working, because huge amount of that kind of scheduling and timing and different roles at different phases should be planned and organized. And then also, what are the contracts? So if they are university schools, what are teachers' contract? Who is the head of these teachers, and what is their salary, and then also what is the compensation of affiliated schools. It has taken quite a long time for us to also establish good practices for example, these contracts of affiliated school teachers. And then also, I think that you mentioned that it's important that there is some kind of continuity, that can continue, which means also that organizationally there should be clear model, what then certainly can be revised, but in such a way that teachers know, but also student teachers know how that is working. So thank you for having opportunity to follow your event, and I'm very delighted that you have raised so important theme at European level, and I really hope that we could have more discussion on this university school issue, because it's very often the issue that what is practice and what is theory, and we see that on as different domains, but in that kind of third place or triple helix model, I think that it's also opportunities to integrate the theory and practice in very fruitful way. So I think that that's my comment, and thank you very much indeed for opportunity to be with you this morning.
And thank you very much, Hannele, for your classification of not only on the project, also of an idea that we have different ecosystems where we must implement a university school concept, maybe more in a context sensitive manner. So thank you very much for the last words also, or we are at the end of a Multiplier event at the moment. And let me share with you the first photo of a project. And what you can see, we had a duration of 3 years, and that what can you see on the photo, in my opinion? Yeah, first of all, you can see we all got older in the project a little bit, and this is normal. And what can we see too? Yeah, but in spirit, we are young at the heart, in my opinion, because we have learned, in addition to the results, we were able to learn how we could further develop our own university school concepts at our universities. And we could learn, it gives not the one and all university school concept. University school concepts are context sensitive constructs maybe. And we could document with our results possible patterns, ways to develop, to implement, to establish university school concepts in given context in European teacher education programs. This is important, and maybe which is what Hannele mentioned it, with criteria, with sharing information. More important, and we hope we can reach the aim with a Multiplier event today, is that we can give you inspiration to build your own university school concept. This is maybe the meaning of a European idea of university school concept. As Hannele has mentioned it with diversity. Diversity is a chance to establish university school concepts in a context-sensitive manner. And we can learn from each other. Maybe this is a piece, maybe this is the main piece of a European idea and the European idea of university school concept. So therefore, with in mind, we hope that the Multiplier event today is not, of course, it is the end of our project, but maybe this is the starting point that the discussion for university school concepts is ongoing, that we can make teacher education programs better, and that we building an idea of European teacher education programs. So thanks a lot to all of you that you have joined today our Multiplier event, and we hope that we will be in touch, and just write us an email if you have questions, if you have ideas to build your own university school concepts. Write us an email, go on our homepage, and yeah, maybe you will find inspiration to build your own university school concepts. Thanks a lot to Luis for organizing the whole Multiplier event today. Thanks a lot to the whole project team, and we wish you a really nice weekend in your European countries today. Bye.
Thank you, Karl-Heinz.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks to all the presenters, the guests, the participants. Thank you to the organizing team here from Lisbon who supported this event. The outputs will be available on the website, so you can all access them from there later on. And we'll email the certificates and the very short evaluation form link next week. So thank you all, and wish you all a wonderful Friday and a great weekend ahead.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And the project team is waiting, please.